Good afternoon, Gooners. Welcome to In the North Bank and a special little preview show, something I haven't done before. But I thought it'd be good to kind of just have a little pre recorded kind of show, just kind of go over the return of the Champions League. And obviously, first game of the campaign with Atalanta. So, yeah, we're going to break down the key players, vulnerabilities, and how can we take them down. Also look at some of our own concerns ahead of the match. But yeah, I think we're ready to get into it. So if we look at Atalanta's season, certainly at the start this season, obviously it's been full of ups and downs. They've had some big wins. I would say had a 3-2 win against Fiorentina last weekend with Alamola Lookman starring, but they've also had some big defeats. One that sprung to mind was the 4-0 defeat to Inter Milan away. Marcus Thuram ran riot. But they've been hit hard by injuries. Players like Scamacca and Giorgio Scavini were out with long-term knee injuries. And such as that, their defence is very vulnerable. Obviously, Scamacca being an attacker, but yeah, it's not been a great start for them, really. They also had a 2-1 defeat to Torino, I think it was, and Che Adams even scored against them. So, yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, as I said, Atalanta are missing some key players. So we could definitely capitalise on doing something in the game. Obviously, Scamacca and Scalvini, they're done. They've also got Rafael Toloi and Ben Godfrey, doubtful with muscle and back issues. Godfrey, we know from his Everton days in the Premier League. He has a bit of needle in his play, as we saw with one of our games with Tomiyasu, I think it was, wasn't it? We stamped on him. So yeah, they look like they're missing on that side. But our injuries, I mean, we look at it. We've got some concerns. We know the long term players. Saka was forced off in the North London derby at the weekend. That was only down to cramps, so that should all be fine. He's been training ready ahead of this game. But yeah, the main concern is still Odegaard, who's still not taking part in training. Obviously, it is this ankle injury, and it is going to take a bit of time to heal. No question about that. So yeah, I think if we can get him for Sunday, then great. But I think the longer it goes on with not a lot being said about it, how long he's going to be out for, I think he's going to be out of that game as well. A little bit gutting. But that's my general opinion. I think again, no news. It's kind of like either like a mask or something like that to kind of to keep them guessing. But yeah, it's not great. Certainly for our side, certainly with creativity and stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. Marino is due to return next month, so still a few weeks away on that side, along with Kieran Tierney and Tomiyasu. So yeah, the one saving grace I think for us is that we can call upon Declan Rice to come back in. He also lost before the game at the weekend. Zinchenko, which was a total curveball. And I said previously in our little North London Derby shows, I had expected him to be probably one of those main players to come in and fill the voids. But obviously before that, yeah, he's obviously out with a calf injury, not trained, so we're unsure what to expect. Yeah, lengthwise, is it just a precaution, or has he felt something? Has it actually gone? Yeah, no one knows on that side. But yeah, I'm sure we've got enough in the tank to switch around and yeah, put in a good performance against Atalanta. So yeah, go on to how we can kind of exploit them. And yeah, I've watched a couple of things, and obviously we all saw last season, obviously them getting to the Europa League final and then beating Leverkusen. Um, that in itself means you have to take note on what threats they can pose and yeah, how dangerous they can be. And they play an aggressive 3-4-2-1 system, and with say like their wing backs, Zabacosta, one of them just pushing forward. I've certainly seen quite a few assists from him in those areas, just in and around the box, putting in a cross, a teasing cross in for players to score. And yeah, he's one that we have to pay particular attention to. So yeah, that pushing forward and that aggressive nature though will leave exposed areas on the wide side of the pitches. So yeah, I think with also the injuries defensively for them, can our wingers, wherever it's Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, Raheem Sterling. I'm looking at all these, and I'm suddenly thinking, having looked at their the highlights of some of their games, and I don't think they're blessed hugely with pace as well. So yeah, getting high, fast-paced balls in and around the defence and turning them round, we could have some real joy there. But I certainly think it's something that we have to look at and be be aware that we have to up their tempo, because yeah, I think if we can turn them around, and I don't think they're the most organised defence going, and certainly under pressure, if we're pressing them high, we can certainly force them into mistakes. And yeah, the Torino game and the Inter game were key things on that. You look at Jesus, Havertz, just and whoever obviously plays in that kind of role that Odegaard is given up through the injury. Um, Whoever plays alongside Havertz in that role is going to be key to that kind of high pressing. So yeah, I think forcing mistakes and winning the ball high up the pitch, I think will certainly put us in good stead. So um, I also noticed that yeah, set piece wise, very frail. So again, we talk about Arsenal and the real strength in how we always create chances from these set pieces, the corners. Yeah, we've been brilliant the last 2.5 years with the corners. Um, they're going to struggle to deal with it. I think they will find it really tough. But again, it's all about delivery. Declan Rice being on the pitch again, he does put in some really good crosses. Um, so yeah, I think it'll be a very interesting part of the game to look at how we deal with set pieces, how they deal with them, and yeah, what kind of things are we going to be kind of targeting. Um, Look at the goalkeeper again. I don't think particularly he's very commanding, but we'll have to see, won't we? And look, if we can start the game early, then so be it. We'll hopefully get the chances, and then we can obviously get the goals that we need to kind of almost put the game to bed early on. Bearing in mind that game coming on Sunday, so yeah, it's something that we've just got to get it done. And I say if we can take control of the game in the first half, then the rotation can start happening, and we can start bringing players off and resting ahead of that trip to the Etihad. But yeah, I look at Gabriel Saliba. They could easily dominate in the air, and yeah, as I say, Declan Rice swinging the ball in, even obviously Saka at the weekend with his um, corner taking. I think he's improved a bit on there. I think there's still more to improve on with his delivery, but the balls he plays in, even from those deeper kind of areas into the box, um, really good. So definitely got a lot of danger there, and Atalanta will do very well, I think, to deal with what we put at them. So next up, we're going to look at the key threats from Atalanta, um, and obviously the key one, it was mentioned, certain parts of the fan base that we were looking at signing him over the summer. Adamola Lookman. Lookman is Atlanta's biggest threat. I feel going forward. He missed I think he missed the two games that they played before the Fiorentina game. Come back at the weekend and scored, but he missed the 4-0 defeat to Inter Milan, and also the 2-1 defeat against Torino. But yeah, look, going forward, he's quick, he's skillful, he's dangerous in one-on-one situations. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on him. So yeah, look at players like your Ben White, even Saliba, just keeping close tabs to him. I think across the whole line, I'm sure he's going to pop up kind of everywhere on that side if he's brought on. But I'm guessing he's going to be playing um, whether or not it's on the left or on the right or down the centre. I think it's changed a little bit from how they were kind of playing him. Retegui, he's been in fine form. He got signed in the summer, so I believe. Um, Obviously, with Skamaka out, he's the number one striker. So he's he's been banging in the goals this season. So uh, we have to pay real attention to him as well on that side. So yeah, tracking his movements and preventing him from getting those easy chances, because I'm sure if he gets a kind of any kind of ball or a header in the box, he's going to take it. And we've obviously Lookman. It's it's going to say it's going to be an interesting one to see what he does, because yeah, just look at the, he's playing as that player that's going to be on white in all honesty. Lookman, so play them so the 3-4-2, basically playing just behind. I think he's been also get involved as well through the season. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, and suddenly it's going to be Ben White that's going to be dealing with that threat from him, and it's just making sure don't allow them to run too high, and we crowd them out. Yeah, 100%. he's a danger, and we can't give them. In conclusion, look, Atalanta have got some key attacking threats in Lookman and Rategi. Yeah, injuries make them vulnerable, but as I said, with their attacking, aggressive nature and their setup, they're going to leave spaces behind them from the wing backs pressing up the pitch. So if we can obviously push them and get them up, get high up the pitch and win the ball back, then we're going to get some real good opportunities. But it's going to be a tough match. Yeah, our own injury concerns, and then obviously our the games that we've obviously got. Obviously the tough game at Tottenham. We've then got this, and then the third away game being at Man City. So yeah, as I say, if we can get out early and we can take control of it in that first half, then we've got a nice kind of calm ending of the game where we can kind of maybe look to bring players on and rotate around. I wouldn't want it to be real tight all game because, again, people are going to get leggy on that side. So, yeah, we want to try and keep everyone as fresh as they can. But certainly, I think we've definitely got a good chance of getting a victory there and starting the campaign with 3 points. And yeah, it is going to be tough. They had a great season last season. Yeah, they finished fifth in their league, which was impressive for a club their size as well as them winning the Europa League. And obviously, we know how tricky that was with our own endeavours. So yeah, it's going to be tricky. I imagine the atmosphere is going to be buzzing as well over there. It's a small ground. Yeah, can we do it? I think we can. And yeah, it'll be good swapping around the troops in. Will he change? Will he change the actual lineup, or will he keep most of it the same? I think the only one that's going to come in is Declan Rice. That's the only logical one you can think of that will come in. That probably will be for Jorginho. Game I thought at the weekend. I just think him coming in will be the change, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see on what happens. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that the ones that we think are out are going to be out. They've not trained, so I don't think there's any chance of risking them, or certainly any merit in risking them. So let's build them up and get them ready for hopefully Sunday or the next ones after that. But yeah, that was a little kind of insight into Atalanta on that side. Yeah, game is on Thursday, 8 o'clock. We have a matchday preview show this evening as part of the Johnny Brooks All Cannon show at 7:30 tonight. So after that, which runs about an hour, we'll suddenly go into our matchday preview shows, which will go through Thursday's game at Atalanta and then onto the big one on Sunday at the Etihad. So it's going to be a blockbuster night. There's going to be lots of football talk, lots of Arsenal discussion. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification to make sure you don't miss the notification. So yeah, come and join us in the chat on the YouTube and get involved in the conversation. But yeah, this is the Bray. Thank you for watching this little pre-recorded segment. And yeah, come on the Arsenal. And yeah, let's do this. So to the next game. Come on, you Gunners.